Before Bernard joins us, we're going to watch this video.
This is the moment you're going to change. There's only two types of people in the world. People who are afraid and do something, and people who are just afraid.
It was definitely a transformation, a full-on experience.
Recommend. I give it way beyond 5 stars, to the moon and back again.
You can only be powerful by doing things that scare you. Success is attracted by the person you become. It's an attraction. You can't actually go after it, it comes after you. Knowledge is vital, but transformation is crucial. All the knowledge in the world is not gonna help. Get emotional. The emotional people are unstoppable. The express elevator for success is broken. You're gonna have to take the stairs.
I think Bernard's teaching is just really right for any organization in any career field.
I'm ready and available. Put your hand up.
It's a life-changing moment when you are working with Bernard Tiller.
Burn the past. Burn my limitations. Burn my insecurities. Burn, burn, burn. It's time that we burn the boats so we don't have a plan B. No more plan B.
So welcome, Bernard. We're excited to have you with us today on Becoming More.
Hello. Hi there.
It's good to see you again. It's been a while since I've been in LA and visiting with you. I've got to say that you are about transformation. You are always making people feel so good. You encourage people with helping them bring out that greatness that you see in them. And you're preparing for this upcoming master class, which I'm really excited about. And you conduct these transformational events all over the world. So how do you prepare for success? Give us the scoop here.
Success is not your destiny. So let's start that. You have to prepare. Like if you have a very successful company, it's all based on preparation. You have the right team. You have the right attitude. I mean, the idea is that the reason Apple is doing so well is that they have creativity department. They have all these different things. It's really about preparation. If you're going to cook a wonderful meal, what's the most important thing? Preparation. If you're going to do surgery, it's preparation. I find that people come to seminars, they're not prepared to succeed. Because let's say you were starving for water, starving. So you're drinking it like faster. But if you're not that starving, you're kind of just listening. I would say that there's a couple of things that we need to do. Number one, the way you sit tells me a lot about if you're going to succeed or not. This is kind of a funny thing, but if you sit leaning, what I call, there is two types of people. Like, let me ask you a question. If you were going to go away for a month from your business, would you hire an amateur or a professional to run your business?
Oh, a professional.
Right. If you were going to get an operation, would you get an amateur or a professional to do the operation?
A professional, an expert surgeon. That's right.
I would say. So the idea is that if you were having trouble in your relationship, would you want to talk to some amateur or a professional that really could help you?
Professional, absolutely.
Right. And I would say that the problem that I find is that we always want professionals, but what I'm teaching people is I'm changing them from being an amateur person to a professional human beings. I want you to think, how would a professional human beings walk into a room? How would a professional person sit down? And they sit differently. They lean forward. They want to hear everything. They've paid money. They showed up. They're like ready to go. They also have an energy in your body. They have a positive energy. They're thinking, this is the message I want to hear. The idea is that there's people that sit like this, you're not going to learn very much. And so the idea is that the way you become a professional, professionals do something that amateurs don't do. Just a simple thing. Amateurs take lessons when they feel like it. They're in the mood, it works, it doesn't work, whatever. It doesn't. Professionals train no matter what. And the best example of that is if you have a baby. If you got a baby, it's crying 3 a.m. It's not like, do you want to go? There's really, it's one of those type of things where it doesn't really work in the fact that you have to be a professional human being, and professional human beings have to, get up no matter what. And I want to teach you how to be professional. So one of them is to come in positive, to come in with a huge energy, to come believing and actually believing what you hear, feeling like I'm now at the room, I'm now listening to the message that I need to hear to achieve what I want.
So we have to prepare to actually come to the master class. We don't just, hey, show up, teach me what you want to teach me.
Right. It's about preparation. The idea is that when I'm coming to your big party, it's all about preparation. You're going to weddings. It's the reason they're successful. It's preparation. And I feel like, are you prepared? Are you ready to let go of things? Also, happy people succeed better because happy people are willing to do whatever is necessary. See, professionals do whatever is necessary. Amateurs, I don't feel like it. I'm in the mood. I'm not in the mood. It's the idea is that you need to become a professional human being. Another example of an amateur. An amateur human beings wait for luck to happen. Professionals create their opportunities. That's what I'm all about. I'm all about creating your miracles. And I have a 4-step program of how to create miracles in your life because miracles happen through other people. All the great things that have ever happened to me is because I talk to people. And when you talk to people, you have to know what to bring them. We talk about value. What value are you bringing to them? Are you bringing them optimism because they don't have been much, if you have somebody optimistic, they want to talk to you. If you're funny, people want to talk to you. But also if you have high energy, you must have higher energy than the person you're talking to. So if your energy, like if I look at your energy right now, you're like at 78. I'll give you 78. So if I'm 79, you want to talk to me. But if I'm 29, you don't want to talk to me no matter what I'm saying. And people don't even know that life runs on energy. It's, become the person that people want to be with. And so I'm talking about preparing, thinking that this is the day I've been waiting for, and thinking this is the message that I've been waiting for as well.
Well, when you're thinking about professionals, now you work with professionals. I mean, come on, Leonardo DiCaprio, Billy Crystal, Cameron Diaz. I mean, all these folks are fabulous actors and actresses. So I got to find out, why do some actors make it and others don't?
Well, I was able to, Leonardo is somebody who I'm very honored to. He sends me a lot of people to work with. I have never worked with him specifically. We were going to do a project together. But I would say that the reason people succeed is that when you think about your dream or think about your goal, I think the biggest difference is that people don't have positive emotions attached to the goal or to the dream. It's like, I want to start a new business. Okay, that's your goal. But you're thinking, maybe I've spent too much money. I'm going to lose this. I'll look stupid. Most people have negative connotations with their goal. That's why they don't achieve. They have a thing like, I love it. What do you love to eat? Dianna, tell me something you love to eat, no matter what it is.
I love Mexican food, Italian food.
Okay, specific. Give me one food or drink or
spaghetti
dessert.
And meatballs.
Right. See, and you're very positive about that.
Yeah.
So there's no spaghetti and meatballs here, but the idea of that, for some people it could be pizza, oh, I love that, or ice cream, or chocolate cake, or whatever. The idea is that I want you to check yourself and say, do I have a positive emotions attached to what I want? And you'll be surprised, a lot of people don't. A lot of people, I work with people who are artists, business people, and they have dreams, but there's not positive. They think like, my God, I can look stupid. I can expose myself. I can be laughed at. So if you have a negative emotions attached to something, it's not going to work. The other thing that really separates them is they're emotional. Emotional people accomplish everything. If you're emotional, you're unstoppable. If you're logical, all you're seeing is the problems. And if you are optimistic, I need an optimistic person. Because if you're optimistic, you don't care about facts. You don't care what's happened before. You don't care if they've done it before. And most people are too logical. So the idea is what separates them is that they're very emotional. They're very passionate. They don't care what's come before. They don't care who's done it, who's never done it. And they have an emotional why. They have a reason bigger than their blocks and fears. In other words, Dianna, I want you to think that there's your kid is in the house is burning, and why are you running? Because there's something greater than the fire, which is like, yeah, it's a fire, it's bad, I better stay here. It's like you need to find something stronger and bigger of what's stopping you. The other thing that separates amateurs from professionals, Amateurs are stopped by negative comments. You're not going to do it. You're not going to make it. This is it. But since I work with a lot of very successful people, all negative comments that they hear from you're not good, you're not pretty enough, motivate them to succeed. When people say you'll never get up there, they go like, well, now I have to. And that's pushes them forward. And that's a difference. It's because the idea is there's three things that makes human beings: the way we think, the way we act, and the way we react. And if I can change that, which I can, your whole life changes.
Well, you're talking about transformation. So what's the difference between a talented performer and one that's been transformed? Because that's what you help people do.
Well, no, here's the thing about talent. Talent is nice, but it's training. Like, who's the most talented person in the room? And I can tell you right away, the person that wants to be. I think that's me, because I always just wanted to be. There's some people that come into a class and they have sort of, they have talent. This one has maybe more talent than that person. But the person who didn't have so much talent is just working harder and will beat the other one who has a lot of talent. Because if you don't work on your talent disappears. Somebody walks in the door. It's like, who wants to be successful is the one that's going to be. We've had so many people who were started off and they were like the worst one in the class, and now they're working. And the other one who were amazing had just kind of drifted off into something. So it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you finish.
So who surprised you the most? Not with their talent, with their willingness to grow.
I would say that, like, Cameron Diaz came to me. She never acted a day in her life. And she was just wanting to go. But I'm not really surprised that they wanted to grow, because that's what look, people come to me because they want to achieve what I call the impossible. They have like an impossible dream. Everything always sounds impossible. Even that movie, Mission Impossible. I'm actually angry at that movie, Mission Impossible, because at the end, they always seem to get what they need. So I don't know. I thought you said it's impossible. But they always like,
always possible.
I just say it's impossible. Because everything seems impossible. Everything, when you start off, you're like, even finding a girlfriend is impossible. You're 15, you're like, I'm never going to have a girlfriend. Everything always seems impossible, but that's normal. But realize that everything impossible, of course, is possible. That's the word, even the word I'm possible, it's in the word itself. And so we love to watch things that are impossible and go for impossible. But there's a little catch that I have. If you have an impossible dream, you need to be an impossible person. You need to be someone who's willing to do things that are just other people would never do. So I need an impossible human being. Impossible human beings do things, call people. In fact, one thing that I suggest is contact 3 people on Instagram today. Write the 3 people you want to be with. Be impossible. Be like, oh my God, you're impossible. That expression. Yeah, I need someone impossible. Because the people who've been successful, like, they're just like impossible. They're unstoppable. That's the key.
Is that what's helped all of these actors and actresses to actually become a household name? I mean, they seem to share something beyond the camera.
Well, no, the idea is that what they all have in common is that they're constantly, here's one of the things, successful people always ask for help. If you're not asking for help, you're on the road to, you obviously don't want to be successful, because they are training all the time. We have the greatest soccer player, football player, baseball player. Guess what they have on the team? Managers. Why? They don't know how to play? Over there is the goal. What's the problem? I mean, basketball. Can't you see that the basket is right there? I mean, so the idea is that one of the things that they're willing to do what other people are not willing to do. And what they have to do is that they always ask for help. They just have an innate feeling, like I have that too. What I can say, meaning I just want to be great for me. It's not great for you. I just want to be the best of what I do. So that's a personal thing. And they just wanted to be great. They weren't thinking about being famous. None of them thought about being famous. They just wanted to be the best actors, singers, performers on the planet. It was something in them. I didn't give them that. It's a certain kind of passion. And they had a certain type of energy where they say, tell me what I need to do. If I said, read 3 books, they don't read 3 books. They read 6 books. I asked for 4 pages. They got 8 pages. You have to realize that if you have a dream, if you love your dream, does your dream love you? And that's the most important thing. If I said, I'm in love with you, Dianna, I'm totally in love with you. Are you in love with me? And you go like, well, no, I'd say, why? Because we haven't spent time. I haven't done this, but if I did this and this and this and this and this, you go like, well, that's very, I love you, and even a friendship, like, because what we love is people who've invested in us. But sometimes it's a one-way relationship. I have people who are actors, and I say, you love acting? Yeah, but does acting love you? Have you done enough to make acting go like, wow, I'm really impressed with what you're doing. I'm coming to classes, I'm training, I'm working out, I'm being around positive people. Remember, the reason your children love you, or anyone loves you, is because what you've done for them, and you spend time with them and be with them. So if you want to like have beautiful children, but never see them, I don't think the word love is going to come between you. It's like, well, I don't see my kids very often, and they can't love you because we love people that invest time, quality time. And when we spend time together, those are quality moments. Those are the moments we remember.
Well, when I reached out to you and I said, okay, so I flew to LA to meet with you, and actually I gave some money to a charity, and you were kind enough to give some of your time. And then, of course, I ended up working with you longer and longer because that transformation that you bring to people. Now, you see things in people that they don't see in themselves, like actors and actresses.
Right.
What's something that you've witnessed people actually break through their limitations, that you were able to pull out of them? And you've got this innate ability to do that. How do we develop that, to pull things out of?
There is no way to develop there's a thing Einstein said, the person that creates the problem cannot see the problem. You cannot. Why do people have trainers who look great? Because trainers push you. Like I'm going, like I've done the last 3 push-ups, and they're going like, come on, 3 more. Because trainers push you past your own limitations. You need to have a mentor. There is no way you can push yourself because you cannot see your limits. And also, there are no limits. People say reach for the sky. There is no sky. Where is the sky? There's no sky. So you have to realize that people live in a comfort zone. And the people that I love, and the people I love working with, are people who have this kind of philosophy, which it takes a diamond, it takes pressure to make a diamond. And so what they do is that they love pressure. They realize that I'm going to give them more pressure. The more pressure, the better they're going to be. You have to realize that it's something that you have to realize. If you want to achieve what you've never achieved, you have to become the person you've never been. It's not about the dream. It's not about the goal. It's not about the idea. It's not that. The problem is you have to become a different human being to achieve those 3 things. Most people don't change. They just have the same goal, the same dream, the same idea, but you have not changed. And that's what happens to me all the time. If I have bigger dreams, I have to think, what kind of a person would I need to be to accomplish what I want?
Well, and that's why we get along so well.
Right now, that if you want something more, you need to become something more. And one of the biggest problems is that you need to love yourself more to do more. Well, the thing is that love and joy are the 2 things that move things forward. And I'm very big about love, and you need more of it. The more you love yourself, the more other people can love you. And we talk about the fact that you should look in the mirror every morning and say, how can I love you more? How can you look in the mirror? How can I love you more? Because you need to take care of yourself. And that's the only, love is the only thing that we need, because you're only great at things you love. I love what I'm doing. That's what I'm good at it. There was things I didn't, you went to school and you got a A grade. How come you got an A in this one and this one didn't get grade? Because that A, you love that class. You said, oh, I love blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's why you got an A. Because if you didn't love the, chemistry, which I wasn't, I just barely made it through. Yeah, whatever. You're only good at what you love. And some people are very good at their limitations because they love their limitations. Some people are good at fears and doubts because they love their fears and doubts. Whatever you love, that's what you're good at.
Wow. Now, you've worked with leaders all over the globe. What distinguishes these leaders that allow them to rise and yet others just remain stuck regardless of what they do?
Well, they become something I call authentic. There's something about authentic, someone that is true. And I can tell you 4 steps to know if you're authentic. If you're authentic, you're happy. Happy people are all authentic. because you're like, you've come out, how do we say, out of the closet? You're like showing who you are, like who you are. But most people are not as authentic as they need to be, because we love to see something that's true and authentic. So number one, happy. Number two, you feel connected to your inner power. So that's a very important thing. Number three, you do not care what anyone thinks. You're completely uninterested in what anyone thinks, or you don't even know about that. And number four is that you show your soul to the world. You're very open. You know, vulnerable is the key. There's a saying which is, vulnerability is the first thing you look for and the last thing you show. In other words, if you go into a party, who gets all the love at a party? The person in the middle who's laughing and joking, everybody's loving them. So I always say, the person, you know, who gets love in the world? People that don't need it. But that shy girl in the corner, the quiet guy in the corner who could use some love, no one's loving them. Because who gets love? The ones who don't need it. Because you need to be open. You need to be open and you need to be vulnerable. And the idea is that when something is truthful, we love looking at something that's truthful. But it's we're born authentic. I mean, give me, 24-year-olds, 24-year-old kids. There's no question which one's this one. This one's like that. This one's like this. They're all like, they're like wild, all these wild, crazy kids. But by the time they're 8, all of a sudden they're kind of like conformed, like they lose their individuality. And what happens is that we're born an original but die a copy. And so if you are going to be creative, if you're going to be a leader, the first step is you're going to become unpopular. Every leader was always unpopular.
That's right.
With the ultimate leader, Jesus. I mean, you can't get more unpopular than him. And now look how popular he is now. So the idea is that him and other people, and I have Lady Gaga, I have so many examples of people that thought, this is stupid, it's not going to work. And now they're like, because we got to go through, you have to realize that you're like a teenager going like, no, I think I need to do this. And people go like, no, I thought you're going to do that. It's like, no, when you go your own way, people do think you're odd. But after that, then they start thinking you're an icon. And like Steve Jobs, people thought he was odd. I mean, people think Einstein, everybody thinks they're odd until they're like geniuses. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to have the courage to be your authentic self. It's come out of the, as we say, come out of the closet and share your gift. Listen, everyone in this room, everyone's listening has a talent. So I always have good news and bad news about talent. Having talent is not special. Doing something with the talent, developing the talent is special. Everybody's born to do something. And if you don't develop it, I was born to do something, but if I didn't develop it, I would have nothing. It's not like I got this talent. What I discovered, there's a game called hide and seek. How does hide and seek go? Can you tell us how the game goes, Dianna?
Yeah, well, somebody starts counting.
We'll start with before we do, Dianna, is hide and seek an adult game or for kids? Just quick.
Well, I think we both play it. It starts out as a kid.
No. Just make it very simple. Don't complicate it. It's for kids or adults. Who plays hide and seek? Kids. And so the way it works, I'm going to get 10 kids. They're outside in a park, or a backyard. And what does one person do? One person does what?
One person covers their eyes and counts.
Okay, stop it. Slow down. We want to make sure one person covers their eyes. Okay. And then 9 people do what? Get specific.
They go and hide in the best place they can find.
Any place?
Anywhere.
So it could be like under the bed, in the closet. It could be anywhere, right?
Right.
Now, and what's the fun of it? The fun of it is somebody's looking for you and they go, aha, I see you under the bed, under the closet. Okay. What I've discovered, sadly, having done this around the world, is that people are playing exactly that same game. Adults are playing it. But there's only one problem. No one's looking for you. You're hiding under the bed and no one's looking for you. You're in the hide and seek business, except you're just hiding. And that's what people do. There's something called show business, which is what we are all in. Show me what you have. But most people are just in hide business. They're just hiding their gifts, their talents, their emotions, their feelings. So it's kind of weird, because it would be also a weird game for kids. If you were hiding and no one's looking for you, then you're there for 2 years. You could be whatever. You're just hiding under the bed. Just like, what is that? And that's what's happening. It's time to come out of hiding and show what you have, because we're all in show business. And the way I know is the fact that Your store or whatever you're working on is the stage. The people that are coming in are your customers. They're, the public, and the people in the store are your actors. How they perform, what they do. We're all in show business. Like you're walking in, you go, I like her. I know I was with you. So I like that woman, how she's talking. Yeah, you like her. You like how she knows the product. You like who she is. Yeah, we're all showing. We're in show business. And when the food comes and you were like, oh my God, look how beautiful. You look at the food. Everything is, and why did you buy that dress? Wow, look how it looks and all that. It's all about show. Stop hiding, because most people are just hiding. And that's what's so sad about it. But it's adult. It's not an adult game. It's for kids.
What about these people that are people pleasers? I mean,
Yes.
you see that a lot. They want to people please.
Right. That's not good, obviously.
No, it's
Yeah,
not. So what can you help people with, especially in sales? I mean, they feel like whatever the seller wants, whatever the buyer wants, whatever they need, I've got to provide.
Well, you know what?
that.
So now you're bringing up a lot of issues all at one time. So let's just do one at a time. You can't. The idea is that you're talking to someone that you're trying to sell. You're trying to understand who they are. You're trying to connect to who they are. But you cannot connect to them or understand them unless you understand yourself. It all comes from you. I'm the ones, I want to buy something and you're trying to sell me something. So I'm a person. And how connected you are, how in touch you are with yourself is how you can watch me and how I'm feeling, what I'm doing. They're like people are disconnected, so they don't know who they're talking to. And so they don't know what's going on. And you need to be able to sort of get in there and recognize that I don't like to sell. I like to be sort of a helpful, make it feel like you're like their friend and you're like, this is going to help them, not scamming them. But I always feel like it's a gift. You're giving them something like, this is a beautiful car and it really will take you places. And just be truthful and honest. And just the idea is that, and be ready to the fact that sometimes people won't want it, and that's okay too. The idea is that most people pleasing was the fact that they want to make everyone else happy, but they make themselves unhappy. And of course, that is a kind of a childhood problem. What I've discovered is that I have adults who have childhood issues. They're still like they're 30, 40, 50, 60, but they still have a mind of a 7-year-old. Do you love me? Do you love me a lot? And I go, you know what? I want you to love yourself. I want you to give all the love you need. In fact, I would say, for actors, that you cannot be successful. A lot of actors have had difficult childhoods. And so I want to tell you something. You can't be successful unless you have a happy childhood. So they looked at me like, I said, well, the good news is it's never too late to have a happy childhood. So you need to go out. You need to have fun. You need to do things that bring you joy, starting now. That's right, you're 50. It's time to go. Go on a bicycle, run, go to the park. Because happy people transform and they have a great energy. Happy people are more successful. Happy people sell more, make more money. And there's another thing that I teach is success is actually attracted by who you are, which means you're like a magnet. And if no one's coming to you, it's the magnet is not shining enough. I would say that people are attracted to you. If you walk into a room and no one wants to know who you are, you're not shining. And I can tell your listeners that when you walk in the room, everybody wants to know who you were. You came to them. You had this energy about you, and that's why you're successful. Some people think like I'll go after success. No, you can't go after it. It comes after you.
Well, when we went to the Italian,
I'm here to shine up your magnet. I'm here to clean up all the garbage. I'm here to say, what are you sparkling? And then come in there, and then people will come to you and say, hey, well, who are you? And then you have something to offer, have a value, and you have a great energy. I mean, of course, in LA, energy is the king. Energy is number one. If you don't have the right energy, you could be the greatest actor in the world. Nobody will want to work with you. It's not the most important thing. It's your energy. That's why some people are not the greatest actors, but they love their energy. They love who they are. Humanity is like the king in Hollywood.
Yeah, when we went to the Italian Film Festival, I watched you. You have great energy, and everybody wanted to speak with you on the red carpet, etc. And it was so much fun just to observe the actors, actresses, get to know them. So let's say these people that have made it in Hollywood or even in business, What's the greatest myth about success that you've helped people overcome so they can rise up in what they do? What is the myth of success?
Well, the idea is that success, look, I have the greatest job. I work with actors, artists, business people. I travel around the world. I work in the biggest stages. That's a job. Okay, that's great. But that's not, don't think like that's going to be who you are. Don't put that as a label. Don't say this, I am successful, so then I'm happy. No, only happy makes you happy. So the biggest myth is that for people, sadly, who are billionaires, who are very rich, who have a wife, who have children, and sadly, I'm sure this won't happen to anybody listening, but some people decide to check out and not live in this world anymore. And they have it all, but they don't because they were never happy. So happiness is an inside job. So I have to work on myself. I have a great job, but the job, it's still a job. So that's not, that doesn't, it's not a substitute for family, for friends, for joy. In fact, one of the greatest indicator of longevity is a social life. So I have a great job, but some people think it's a job. They think it's all about the money. It's about doing all that. No, it's about taking care of yourself. So the only thing is that we know that that's, it's a job and I love it, but it's still a job. So you need the relationships, you need love, you need passion, you need connection. We have to be human and realize that fame will not bring you joy, which it doesn't. Like they're famous and what happens? Their childhood suddenly is better? No, I've worked with a lot of famous people who had a very difficult childhood and I had to help them because they thought I'm the biggest star in the world. And what does that do? You could be the president of the United States and doesn't mean he's happy. Because, that's just, your job is not who you are. The job is, first of all, I don't even have a job. I love what I'm doing, but it's still a job. You still need human beings. You need great food. You need to go to Italy. You need to travel. You need to laugh a lot. And I work with the people at the top. So the myth is success will not give you happiness. Only happiness will give you happiness.
No, that's good. So how do you help someone move from protecting their image, right, to revealing who they truly are?
Well, you have to realize that one of the first thing I talk about, and I talked about it with you, is you have to get out of your head and into your heart. We talk about the fact that if you're in your head, you will never be able to reach your full potential because the head lives in doubt, caution, and wonder. But I also talked about the fact that you need to get the book called Homecoming by John Bradshaw. John Bradshaw has a book which talks about the fact that the mind is actually your enemy, and the food of the mind is pain and suffering. The mind loves pain and suffering, and that the objective of the mind is for you to fail. That's what it wants. And it has a certain way, like it's like all of a sudden a lot of people who are in their mind are very controlling, they trust no one, they don't believe, they don't have faith. It's a certain type of personality. They never ask for help. They're not connected to their power. They care what other people think, and they have another horrific personality trait, which the mind gives you. They want to be perfectionist, which of course doesn't exist. And perfection is all about trying to get attention and love from the past. Meaning that as a child, the only time you got love and attention was in the past. So one of the things that I talk about is that you have to get into your heart. Now, the person who's the most authentic, the most real, people are connected. People are dying. They cannot look away for something authentic. If all of a sudden you were on stage and everybody's kind of talking and you're getting an award and kind of talking, but then you say, and all of a sudden we realize you're getting emotional. This is an important moment because I'm a girl that came from poverty, and you're starting to cry. You have everybody watching you. There's nobody looking on the phone because what the world dying to see is something authentic. It's like all of a sudden she's having a moment. She's saying, like all of a sudden it's something unplanned. If all of a sudden, I don't know, the president was like starting to get emotional or something about something, you'd be watching. Like, we don't see that. And so, of course, it's not about protecting. It's showing your humanity, and actors or successful people know that's what attracts people. If you are open, then you're open for things to happen. Protecting yourself is only hurting yourself. Who is that helping? The idea is that, we make money. The more vulnerable you are, the more money you make. But after being vulnerable, after a while, you don't even feel vulnerable. what people want is something authentic. They go to movies and plays and they're riveted because they see something that's so real. Even though the situation is not real, they just are so real by it. I mean, all of a sudden, it's you telling your father what you always wanted to say. I'm talking about Dianna. You always wanted to say this, but never have. But in this movie, this woman is talking to her father and saying, you know what? You never really believed in me. I don't know why. And I was always chasing your love. I don't know. And it becomes so real. And so movies that are authentic and real, people can't look away. They start weeping, they start crying. And that's what they come to movies for. We actually see movies. When we see movies, we watch people who are alive. They're like authentic, they're emotional, they're passionate. And we love movies where all of a sudden this girl who hasn't found love in her life, and she's maybe not, and she's a little overweight and this and that, and she's walking around, but she finds love. And you know what? Why didn't you find love? That your body isn't stopping you, the way you look doesn't stopping you. And all of a sudden we love movies that go like, and the music starts, da 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 da. We love to see winners because it inspires us. And that's what you need. Here's the thing that my teacher taught me, and I think all your audience should think about it. That if you want to have a meaningful life, you need to do two things. One of the two things. Either write a book everybody wants to read, or live a life so passionately, so exciting, so meaningful that somebody wants to write a book about you.
That's really good. You know, you often say talent without willingness to be seen remains invisible.
Right.
So what do most people misunderstand about being seen? Because you've talked about hiding in the corner and that.
Right.
Yet, if I want to be seen, give me something that is really going to help, right?
Well, if you want to be seen, then go where people are seen. Come to my class. Go somewhere people see you. You cannot be seen at home. You have to put yourself up front. And remember, everything, when you do something brand new, it's going to feel uncomfortable. And there are something called fears. And I have 3 sections of fears. Fears are actually in 3 sections. So maybe we should talk about that. We have something called good fear. Good fear is how we have survived for thousands of years. Because when I remember you and I were walking down in, I don't know, in Africa, wherever we were, and we saw a lion, and then you and I ran up that tree. And the reason we ran up the tree is we had fear, like, oh my God, here's a lion. And that's how we survive. And I know that when we're crossing the street the other day, I pulled you back. Or I said, let's not run across because I could see the car could hit us. You know, maybe,
Right.
So fear, there's good fear. And that's why you said, you know what, I didn't feel good with this guy, so I got in the car early. Or you're like, it's 3 a.m. and you think like, oh, I don't know, this doesn't feel safe, whatever. Fear, it saves us. Fear is that's why when we get to the edge of a balcony, we're thinking, you know what, that's like too close. Let's go back. That's a very important thing. I even saw a video once of a woman who didn't have that gene. And so they have to pull her back because she doesn't know that if you go too close, you'll fall down. She can't figure that out. So she would just go to the edge. It's crazy.
Ugh.
Oh, good fear. Normal fear. Here we go. Normal fear is anytime you do something, you haven't done it before. And whatever you've done in your life, and I'm not talking about every teenager maybe has done this or that, making out, whatever. It's fearful. Like, how does this work? But it's part of the process, which is the fact that it feels weird. But after you do it for a long time, then it doesn't feel weird. Everything has fear. You've never sang before, never danced before, never. So all the teenagers I have are young people. I know you have never done it, but just keep doing it. And then it just feels normal. Because nothing feels like I've done this a million times. No. The first time you get on stage, it's the first time. I've been on stage a million times, so it feels like I actually like stage better than like sitting. So it becomes a whole different thing. Most people just want to sit. They don't want to get up. But that's the thing, is that I'm up all the time, so it feels more home. But the more you do something, it gets better. So that's called what I call normal fear. Now, bad fear is something that stops you because you're not willing to go into the unknown. Because when you do something new, you have to jump off the cliff. What you don't know is that everybody has an invisible parachute on their back, but it doesn't go off right away. Like every parachute, when you see jumping, I didn't jump, but to jump, but then it goes, wah, 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 and then it opens. And we'll realize that if you jump, which you must to get to the next level, the parachute will open. You're not going to die. But some people are just stopped by fear. because they're just more about outcome. They don't really want to live life. They just want an outcome. It's like, I want to meet this girl and I want to marry her and never divorce. Well, I don't know what world you're in. You're hoping not to, but you have to live a life and you never know what's going to happen. There's a life that has risks and everything. You're trying to eliminate any risks, as people don't. If you want no risk, then stay home. Don't drive a car. That's a risk. Don't get into a plane. Don't fall in love. Don't have children, because everything has a risk to it. Something can happen to these people. And the idea is that the most important thing is follow your passion by developing it, by asking for help and creating people that want to help you. It's super important for you to have people that build a team. You need a team. No one can succeed without a team. Where is your team? Invest in a team. And that's what my mentor taught me. And it's all made all the difference, because I'm pretty strong, but I'm only one. And the only thing you can do alone really is be sad and to be depressed. But happiness is a twin, because I've just succeeded. I just got a big award. But if I couldn't tell anybody about it, my happiness doesn't get doubled. So there's people who get the Academy Award, and they love it. They love it because they're in front of people and people are jumping at them. And the best way of example of joy is that when you see a baseball team who has clinched the World Series, or you see the basketball team that's won whatever, I noticed that the guy who hit the goal, people jump on him. Other people jump, I said, why are you jumping on him? And why doesn't he say, hey, you didn't have anything to do with that. I hit the goal. You did nothing. You were sitting in the back. You're on the bench. What are you doing? But what happens is that happiness is a twin. And so the more people are there. I just won something and you give me a high five, that doubles my happiness. Another person, that triples it, that quadruples it. So happiness is a twin. You can't just be happy alone. And if I said, you know what, I'm going to give you an Academy Award, but no one knows about it and you can't tell anybody about it, suddenly they don't want it. It's the fact that happiness is a twin. And just be happy. Realize happy is one of the most important factors. If you're happy, everything it's going to work. And I have many, many successful business and artists, of course, who have learned to be happy and fall in love with themselves. Love yourself more. Because when you love yourself more, then you can care about other people. I mean, the reason we have so much hate going on is people don't love themselves. Yeah. If I don't love myself, how could I love you? I cannot give you what I do not have. I don't have love for me. I don't have love for you. And we're all biting. And I think that great leaders should be an example of how to live life. Sometimes you don't have leaders like that who teach you about love and kindness. They just kind of grab and take. But that's not my kind of, no, that doesn't really help. Because at the end, you're going to be lonely.
You are. And you've got a master class coming up where you're going to be teaching people how to live. I know you dance during your master class. You bring out the emotion.
Well, the idea is that what we do in the class is we do these exercises, what I develop, where you get in touch with your inner power, where you get in touch with your passion, where you get in touch with overcome confidence. I give you ways you actually we do interactive. We're not sitting and talking. We're doing things. So when you come out of there, you're flying high, because everybody gets transformed. I would say, look, first day of the class, take a picture, because after that, you're never going to be the same. because you can always get more. And if you told me right now, Dianna, tell me, you should be happier. Say that to me.
You should be happier, Bernard.
Yes. Say you should be bigger. Say you should be bigger.
You should be bigger, Bernard.
Yes. Yes. Realize that whatever I am I'm at the comfort zone. And for me to get more, I need to become more. Absolutely. Sometimes I'll say, you need to be happier. And people say, I am happy. I said, yeah, I wasn't saying you weren't happy. I said, you need to be happier to get more. It's like, I want you to make more money. Yes, but I'm not. You have to tell me I got 5 million. Yes, I thought I was going to give you 6. I mean, you don't need to go back. We have to go up. And the idea is that we are born where the comfort zones really are called the death zones. Because if you were, because really, if you were with somebody wonderful, so I'm going to give you the most wonderful human being. You're in a hotel room. How long could you stay in the hotel room? You have food, you have TV, whatever. How long could you stay in that room before you have to get out there and just see the park or see something or the ocean?
It wouldn't be long. It wouldn't be long. No windows, no doors, no.
No. Your windows are there. Everything's closed. The blinds are there. You're in a room. And you can't, unless you have to open up, you see the balcony, you see the ocean. How long do you need before you get out there? A day, 2 days? What?
Probably a day or two. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's interesting. So all of a sudden, the dream, which was here I am with the most wonderful human being for a day, but after 2 days, like, I got to get out. And that's because the comfort zone quickly turns into the death zone, which is like, this is now uncomfortable. And that's just normal. So wanting more is normal because the world tells you, be happy what you have. Yeah, I'm happy what you have. I just thought, come to me if you want to accomplish more. Come to me if you want to achieve the impossible. Come to me if you want to become the person that you need to be to achieve what you want. Because it's all about designing, not, we're all playing parts, and I want you to start playing a part that really helps you be the person you actually need to be.
Well, and that's just coming up. I mean, it's right here in July.
July 15th to 20th, and then I go to a place called Mind Valley, which is like this incredible organization, and I get to do a talk about preparing for success. August 11th in Amsterdam, and then I go to London. Did you ever see Succession, the TV show Succession?
Yes.
Yeah, so the father is the guest, the father, the main guy,
Oh.
star. Because I love talking to people who have succeeded, and I want to find out their formula, and that's what I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach the formula of what it takes to succeed, to accomplish the impossible. Because it goes 3 steps. It's impossible, then improbable, and then inevitable. But it all always goes like that. Everything always seems impossible. And whenever you think of something, no one thinks like, yeah. And I'll let you know if you have a good dream. If no one thinks it's impossible, you actually don't even have a dream.
Right.
If everybody thinks like this could happen, then it's like, it's not going to happen. It's got to feel impossible because impossible things are the only things that actually come true. Because you're trying harder. It's harder to lose. It's easier losing 50 pounds than 5 pounds. I'm trying to lose 5 pounds forever. But 50, there's a kind of a push for it. And you have to realize that it's kind of what do you want your life to be? I talk about the fact that, we have, sometimes people say, we die once or something like that. I said, no, you have to realize that we have a choice to, what does your life mean? And since I just found out that we die, I just was given that information. The question is, what are you dying for? Die for something? Did you die for something? And if you felt like I gave my all, and then you're dying for something versus dying for nothing. What did you die for? It's, what you're dying for is what you're going to live for. I want to make a difference. I want to give people, because it gives me joy to help people succeed and to meet them. And I love it's like being there at their birth. It's like, that's what people love. I feel like I'm the father of 80 billion kids, whatever, because you're seeing people get born to what they are, and that makes me so happy. It really makes me happy. It's about me. I like seeing them, but I have the formula of what it takes, but you have to let go. You have to let go and just go and realize that there's always more. And the more you become, the happier you will be.
Right. Well, I love your statements and this master class. I mean, people need to get there. I want, before we end, though, for you to walk over and show us that award that I got to see, because, I mean, not everybody has one of these right in their living room.
Not everybody has one of these. That's true.
So, when we were visiting and you showed me this, it was like, yeah, that's pretty doggone great. You said you wanted to share things with other people because it makes you feel better to share. And now you have all these friends. And I want to tell them, how do they get in touch with you? We'll put it on the screen. We'll let you know. How do we?
Well, the way you get in touch with me, there's something called email. It's very popular. I'm telling you, it's taken off. That email thing is just really.
I think it's going to work. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like email, shemale. I don't know what they call it, but I love it. So the idea is that email Bernard at bernardhiller.com. How about that? Does that get any easier than that?
That's pretty doggone easy, Bernard.
Bernardhiller.com, or you go to my website, Bernard Hiller. And if you want to, what I've been working lately is on public speaking. If you want to make your public speaking your superpower, the ultimate communicator. I want to teach you how to communicate, how to be powerful communication, how to do that. And therefore, I need to make you powerful. I don't really have tricks. I make them powerful, and then there you go. And then you just push them on stage, and there they are. So that's what happened to you. You're pretty powerful, my dear. It's such a pleasure working with you, being with you, and working with all these business people. I love it. It's just, I have such joy because they don't know that everything is a performance. And let me tell you what it takes to give the ultimate performance.
Well, I know you're going to help people. You're just not going to help them. You're going to transform them. So if you're in for something and you want to become more, go to this class. Get hold of Bernard.
You're going to love it. No,
Certainly
it's going to change the way you think your life should be. It's July 15 to 20. It's in a place called Los Angeles, City of Angels. And you're going to be transformed, and you're going to experience 5 days. It's something special. Oh yeah, people are so happy at the end of this because they really are pushed beyond their boundaries in a positive way, and they're like discovering things. The more you discover, the more you can use. See, if you don't discover nothing new, you can't really use anything new. But there's more power, there's more energy, and I have exercises to help you connect more to your authentic self.
And this is what we need. So Bernard, thank you so much for being with us today and helping us become more, because that's what life is all about. So thank you, my friend.
Anytime.
I look forward to seeing you.
Bob, and remember, the bigger the dream, the better the life.
Be certain to subscribe. Hit that subscription button below to become more, because you will learn from others. Watch the video again and make certain that you also are very successful and learn how to transform yourself.